Hi friends, my name is Janna, and I want to welcome you to my very first episode of this moto vlog, which I am calling Two Wheels to Hope. And I don't know if that makes any sense to anyone. I guess it makes total sense to me, so we'll see if the name sticks, but we're going to try it. What does Two Wheels to Hope mean? It means we're going to do some motorcycling, and that's on two wheels. And to hope means we're going to look at hope. We're going to talk about hope. I'm going to talk about hope in my life for just a few minutes today in this very first episode. And then from here on out, we'll talk to some of my friends and acquaintances that are in my life, and we'll travel to talk to them on my motorcycle and see what they have to say. A little bit about me. I'm from Oklahoma, born and raised in the great Sooner State. I've never lived anywhere else, though I have traveled a lot outside of Oklahoma. I do enjoy living in Oklahoma, but I really enjoy traveling, and might not be your typical Oklahoman, and I hope you'll give me a chance today. Give me about 10 minutes of your time, and let's get to know each other. I currently live in a small city in Oklahoma with my beautiful wife, Holly. We will celebrate our 5-year wedding anniversary in a few months, and I plan to have her as a guest at a later date. We have one dog, his name is Charlie, and we have 3 cats. We have Cleveland, Jake, and the infamous Coco. Jake is a little toot, but my Coco is so beautiful. Did I mention my wife is quite gorgeous as well? She's also my best friend, my kindred spirit, and my biggest cheerleader. She truly is one of a kind, and I'm very, very blessed to have found her. Believe it or not, she's not totally fond of motorcycles, but I think we're getting there. So I'm 53 years old, and I'm going to be 54 in a couple of days. And I have had a few major orthopedic surgeries through my life, a knee, back. I've actually had my hip worked on, a shoulder, what else? Oh, then there's this. This last year I had a hip replaced. Additionally, I was finally diagnosed with fibromyalgia after struggling with years of pain and consistent weight gain. Why the heck did I decide to get a motorcycle and start riding? So why the heck would I get a motorcycle and start riding again after I've had my body repaired? Most people would say, Janna, you are crazy for doing that. Even my mom was questioning me before she knew that I actually had purchased a little Honda Nighthawk to get back into it. And I feel bad for doing that, but I did. Anyway, why would I? And I really had started missing riding a motorcycle. And the thing is, this is my 4th motorcycle. I had a motorcycle when I was a kid, and I kind of developed that desire to ride from my dad, who had a Honda 700 when I was little. And he would set me up there on the gas tank with him, and we would go for little rides, or I would just get to sit with him, and I just loved it. And he knew that. And my parents actually bought me my first motorcycle when I was a teenager, when I could start to drive and be street legal. And that was kind of to my mom's dismay, but I was very safe, and I did what I was supposed to do for the most part on that motorcycle. And I've had a few since then, and I did get the 250, but it didn't take me long to just kind of be like, I need something bigger, and I really always wanted a Moto Guzzi, and that's a later story, but I ended up going ahead and getting the Moto Guzzi, and it's just helped me have so much hope, because I am getting out there and riding, and I feel better, and it helps me just internally and everything else. And I'll talk about that in a minute, but I really want to introduce you to my bike. It's just such a cool bike. So I would love to introduce you to my bike. This is Robin, my 2022 Moto Guzzi V9 Bobber. Isn't he the coolest? He's one good looking bike. I purchased this bike from Don at Motive Cycle Works in Oklahoma City. He's an awesome guy, can hook you up with an Italian beauty like mine. Moto Guzzi is an Italian company that has been in business for over 100 years. Each motorcycle is hand-built in Mandello dell'Ario on the shores of Lake Como in Italy. This particular bike is 850 cc's, 6-speed, and has a shaft drive, which all Guzzis have. If you'll notice, the V-twin is mounted in a transverse position, which just gives all Guzzis a very distinctive looking character and feel to the ride. Why robin? Robins have long been tied to personal manifestation, freedom, and passion. For me, this bike is about renewing passion for my youth and living out the truth of who I am. I'm on a path that I am choosing out of confidence in who I know myself to be. How about let's go for a ride? While we're riding, let's talk more about how riding has helped me have overall better health. Motorcycling is predominantly seen as a male activity. I'm really not sure why. Perhaps it's due to historical stereotypes for men and women, who knows. I think it's silly that it's seen as predominantly a male activity. There are so many great benefits to riding a motorcycle and to biking, and they shouldn't be reserved just for men or the male species just because historically it's been seen as a male activity. As an individual, here are the ways that it helps me. It keeps my mind sharp. I have to watch out for myself and keep an eye out for others on the road. It's not just about me personally. I have to watch out for everyone else if I want to be safe, though. At the same time, it's relaxing. It's kind of hard to explain how that all works, how you have to be on top of your game, but you're also relaxed. I don't know, but it just works that way. I get to work my core on my bike because I'm in an upright riding position on this particular bike, and that's how I like it. I like to ride that way. And so I find myself working my core on my bike, which is good for me physically. And then if I push or pull my bike, which I do almost daily, it's good for my muscles and my mobility. This bike weighs around 440 pounds or something like that. So that's good. That's good for me. And riding creates alone time for me, which I really don't get very often during my work hours. It's very hard for me to have just alone time. And I do feel closer to nature when I'm riding. You know, I love it when that occasional bug splats on my face shield. So that's pretty cool. But no, I do feel closer to nature. And I do just feel free to let go of my worries. That's a good thing for my mind and my spirit. And the one thing that's really, really cool, I gain more and more confidence because I grow stronger in this particular activity. It's not a cockiness, it's actually confidence, which translates into other areas of my life. So the more I engage in motorcycling, the more I grow in hope for overall better well-being, and I feel more alive. But today I would like to conclude by sharing one hope that I have for this very first episode, and that is for human rights. So just recently on October 12th, there was the 25th anniversary, which I hate to call it an anniversary, but it was 25 years ago since Matthew Shepard passed away. Matthew, if you don't know who Matthew was, he was a college student in Laramie, Wyoming, at the University of Wyoming. He was brutally beaten. He was tied to a fence post in a field, and he was left to die, all because he was a gay man. It took 11 years and many battles by Matthew's parents, but hate crimes legislation was finally signed into law by President Obama in 2009. If you're unaware of Matthew and his story, I encourage you to take a moment to read about him. It'd actually take more than a moment, but to read the book that his mother wrote, The Meaning of Matthew. Or you could watch the movie The Matthew Shepard Story, or you could review the Matthew Shepard Foundation online. And the reason I bring this up is we all deserve the right to be who we are and to live in safety. And my hope is that we can be kind and respectful to one another. By the way, there are some great motorcycle companies out there that are affirming to the LGBTQ community, of which I'm a part. I don't hide that. But that company, one company that is affirming is Revzilla, and it's a great company. And I want to thank them for being supportive of the LGBTQ community. But I encourage you to read about Matthew, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. I want to thank you for joining me on this very first episode, and I really do hope that you have found some hope in this first episode. We all need hope, and I really do desire for you to find a positive moment in your life, and that you'll return next week and take a moment out of your life to find some hope, and maybe take some time to look into motorcycling, or maybe get back into it, or maybe hit me up and we'll talk about it together. And next time I hope to be talking with one of my students, actually, who is a part of No Child Left Behind, and we'll talk about her hope for that endeavor next time. All right? So thanks so much for joining me on this very first episode, and we'll see you soon on Two Wheels to Hope. Thanks a lot. Bye.